Hi, this is Lisa Christiansen from San Diego, and we are at Villa Conti in Foglia, Italy. Did I say it?
Perfect.
With Gabrielle. And we were talking earlier about how the way that you train the horses is very similar to the way that I strategize with corporations and individuals. So, tell me a little bit more about that.
So when we train horses, or most of time with problem horses, they have most of time ingrained patterns.
Mm-hmm. Like people.
Exactly. So they do things because they have learned it, because they had a bad experience, or for whatever reason. So what we try to do is to create a new pattern to exchange the old one or the bad one.
Which is exactly what I do.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's exactly what we do. So we try to exchange these patterns in different things. Horses, they think in pictures. So it's a little bit like a film, a movie. Yeah?
I'm so glad you said that. So do we.
Oh, really?
If you notice, think about it. If you notice, when you're in a certain situation, you'll automatically flashback.
Oh,
yes,
exactly.
flashback. Good word. Yes.
Yeah, and the horses do the same. They think in pictures, so they associate an action to this picture. And what?
So they think that the past equals the future.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
so do people.
Yeah.
And you have to break the pattern.
Exactly.
Kind of like a record.
Yeah.
So if you play a record, like on a record player, you scratch it. What happens?
It doesn't. It jumps.
It jumps.
Yeah.
What happens if you do it again?
If you scratch it again, what happens?
It jumps more.
Oh,
If you do it enough times, you
it
don't
jumps.
understand the words anymore.
Oh, exactly.
So that's what you're doing with the horse, yes?
Yeah.
So
what we try is just to exchange these bad pictures and put on top new
good
pictures.
Yeah.
And it's the same with trust. So if you gain trust in a horse
and people
too, so you try you break this trust again. So there the most of time we come into play and try to gain the trust again. So if we send the horses back again, maybe at home he was hit on whatever, they're gonna break the trust again. And to regain this trust is really hard. So in this job we work with horses, but every horse has an owner. So we need to work with the owner too. To get him understand the nature of the horse. That he can change.
And see, I think now I think that works the same with people. Little different, because if let's say you take a wife or a husband, because I believe that abuse is non-discriminative. It can happen. I've seen men abused just as much as I've seen women abused. And you, like you say, you gain their trust. You teach them a new pattern. You give them a new picture. You show them that the past doesn't equal the future. And then they go back to the person who is abusing them. Then they lose the trust. You try to work with that person. That person doesn't want to change. So what then you have to do is you have to teach the person. Ourselves, we have a pre-conscious, a subconscious, and our conscious level. So what we have to do is teach our conscious level, which is more controlled by the subconscious, and then even more so by the pre-conscious level. If you can do that, then that's like training the owner. So you're training when you're in your conscious, your pre-conscious, your subconscious. If you can get to the subconscious, then now that's training the owner, because you're the owner of your conscious.
Oh, okay. That's a good thing.
Very similar.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Only for you have to work with a whole different person.
That's true.
So you're actually doing what I do and don't realize it.
That's good. What I see a lot of times, I don't know your experience in this, but that children are really similar to horses, because also the children are flight animals, like the horses.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and so they have a lot more similarities, because an adult can choose to be a flight animal or to be a predator. So, or attack or flee. If I have a problem or whatever, yeah, they choose to flee or to attack. Yeah.
We call it fight or flight.
Fight or flight, exactly. Like the horses too.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, the horse is a flight or fight animal. Yeah. So if the horse can flight,
Yes.
he will run away.
Right.
But if he can't flight, then
Fight. If he can flee.
if he
Fight.
can't flee,
He fights.
he will fight.
Yeah. And so, and that reminds me, because you're right. When I was very young, the first time I went to New York, maybe 16, 17,
Yeah.
and I remember somebody telling me, if you're walking from your place that you're staying to the grocery store, and somebody, especially a man, because men are very alpha, especially a man, is looking at you in the eyes, even if you're lost, do not look lost. Look like you know where you're going. And do not take your eyes off of him. If he's looking you in the eyes, look him in the eyes, and do not take your eyes away first. Because the one who takes the eyes away first loses. They're the ones who are more submissive, and the one who continues to keep eye contact is the one in control of the situation.
Exactly. It's similar to the horses, because when you take your eye contact off, it's like you would take a step backwards. Yeah. So I want to go out of this situation, and where then the people maybe know, I can get you. Yeah. And the same is in horses. If you can control the movement of the horse, you get the leading position. Yeah.
Yes.
So you're going to be the leader, and so if you can move the horse backwards or forward or every direction.
How do you do that? How do you get to that point?
It's all body language, yeah? So if you have maybe two stallions, they're fighting
like
together.
People.
Exactly, like people. And they're fighting together for whatever reason. The stallion who moves away first gonna lose. So when he takes the contact off and goes away, so you're gonna lose.
So when you're going to approach a horse, like we were talking about earlier, how sometimes I'll see, you know how I was telling you that I can hold out my hand and they'll come?
Yeah.
So, I have no idea what I'm doing or why it works.
Yeah.
It does. What do you do that's different, or why does it work?
Okay, fact is that if you try to hold the horse, with two hands, so you're gonna restrain the horse, and the horse wants to go away because you get close to him. But if you can teach the horse like you did, you just show him first the hand, the closed hand, and then he comes close to you, maybe touch him and take the pressure off. It's the opposite of a predator, because you touch, the horse is okay with it and you go away. The predator would attack. So if you go with both hands and you try to touch him just lightly, you can get the horse towards you.
So that's why he came to me and let me kiss him on the nose. Now, there was one thing very important, more important than anything else I've asked, that I need to know. I've been telling my friends, I've been calling home to America, that everybody is so relaxed here. Everybody is so happy. And even when things turn upside down, or maybe what do you call when things don't go right? Everybody has this very relaxed, it's okay attitude. And earlier you told me something that really I just would love to share with everybody. I would love to share with the whole world. So can you share that with me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was a thing what my father told me, yeah? And so what he said, if you have a problem, you know you can't solve this problem. So there is no chance that you can solve the problem. The problem doesn't exist because you can't solve it. So throw it away. If you have a problem, maybe you're going to solve somewhere in the future, or you find slowly a situation, then you don't have the problem because you know you can solve it.
So always, there's no problem.
No problem at all.
I love that.